Heroes Toy Reviews is not intended for children or anyone under the age of 17.
Today, on Heroes Toy Reviews, we review Masters Universe Origins cartoon collection, Clawful. Stay tuned.
Hebro77 here, and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is Hebro's Toy Reviews. But this is the 1983 Jump Jetpack. I just broke his crotch. What do you think about her? I was playing tennis with Super. These are games. This is the owner, Daniel.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Hebro's Toy Reviews, and as I mentioned in the intro, today we will be reviewing Masters of the Universe cartoon collection, Clawful. Now, Clawful is in a lot of Masters Universe episodes, a lot more than what Spikor was if you saw my previous review of him. Clawful, one of the most famous, well-known episodes, is where him and Trapjaw steal the Horn of Evil and set off all kinds of evil and mischief throughout the universe, throughout the forest, and their attempts of trying to take over Castle Grayskull. And the title of the episode is called Driel's Return, which I think should have been called The Horn of Evil, to be honest with you, but whatever, it is what it is. Now, Driel first appeared in an episode, I'm wanting to say Orko was trying to show off his magic. I can't think of the name of the episode at the time. I would have to really Google it. But that might have been the one where his uncle was on trial, I do believe. Or, you know what? I'm going to Google it. It was Dawn of the Dragon. I did Google it. Well, you can't remember everything. But apparently she has made 4 appearances. The Bitter Rose seems like the first one that I remembered for some reason, where he goes and he plucks a rose that's on some kind of mountain, and when he does so, it causes earthquakes all over Eternia until they were able to replace the rose, and something beautiful happened. I don't remember. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this action figure, Clawful. Now, this action figure does come with the Horn of Evil, and we will look at that and a whole lot more. We got a nice little some art on the card back here, and hey, you know what, with no further ado, let's get down to the review. And here we have Masters of the Universe Origins cartoon collection, Clawful. Clawful, as you can see here, comes with the, I don't know if you can see it or not. You'll see it when we take it out of the box even better, but he comes with the Horn of Evil, which was featured in Driel's Return. And Clawful, unlike the rest of the bad guys, which we will be mentioning in our series, besides Trapjaw, I think Trapjaw's actually made the most appearances, but Clawful has made a lot of appearances in the Filmation cartoon. Now, we are only talking about the Filmation cartoon because this figure was based off of the Filmation cartoon. So, within the Filmation cartoon series, he first appeared in Driel's Return, and then he was in Castle of Heroes, The Witch and the Warrior, Frady Cat, A Trip to Marina, Things that go bump in the night in The Secret of Grayskull. Now, of course, later he was in the 2000X series, and then I guess Revelations. Well, we're not going to talk about Revelations. Anywho, here we have him, the cartoon collection. Again, masterful artwork from the people who do this kind of thing. We will compare him to the original Clawful here in just a short bit. But first, let's turn this sucker around and take a look at the back of the package. Now here you can see Driel's return. You can see him working with Trapjaw, which we will talk about Trapjaw in the next episode. But Clawful here, as you can see the artwork, you got the sorceress fighting off this horrible mystic smoke that comes from the horn of evil. And then you got Trapjaw in the background. And then you got the cross cells here on the back as usual. You've got Webster, you got Clawful, you got Spikor, which I just did a review on, and Evil Lyn. Evil Lyn, you evil vixen! And then of course it shows Clawful holding the horn of evil in his claw. And again it says twist into powerful battle position. Which, not really, but now that we've got that out of the way, let's take a look at the action figure. Now here we have Clawful with the Horn of Evil, and I wanted to take a better look at the Horn of Evil. Man, I'll tell you, this is just a beautiful, detailed, wonderful recreation of the cartoon of the Horn of Evil. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, folks. I wish we would get more stuff like this, and I hope we do get more stuff like this from the cartoon collection. I would like to see, and it's rubbery, it's foldable, it's not like the hard plastic where you can't really get it into their hands and whatnot, so you don't have to even worry about that. Clawful, the figure himself, is very bright. First of all, he comes with this comic book, which is the same comic book as that we saw in the Spikor review that I did. It's got this puzzle type thing on it, which is kind of neat. I've not read really any of these just yet. I wonder why they did the puzzle cover, but it's awesome. I like the puzzle cover. Honor Amongst Thieves is the name of this one. I'll put that to the side for now. And then again, comes with these instructions. Don't really need those, want those. Throw those aside. There we go. So now that we got Clawful out, first, let's see, as we take a look at his claws. Hold on. Now, these are just claws. There are no action features on any of them. They're just claws. Try to imagine, if you will, the original Clawful if he didn't have an action feature to him. He's got just regular teeth. Well, I mean, they have fangs on them like the original figure, but they're going down instead of coming straight up. The original figure, his was coming straight up. He looked more, to me anyway, like a crab or a lobster. I should say lobster, because he was based off of a lobster, not a crab. And his pincher, one of his arms, had an action feature on it, which we'll get to here in just a minute. He's more colorful. He doesn't have the protection that the original Clawful had. The original Clawful had more of a lobster type shell of armor on him. The original Clawful had blue boots. This one has orange boots with a blue, I I gotta remember the names of these things. Blue shorts with a, looks like a blue belt that's covered up with his orange vest. He could be a construction worker. What do you think? A little blue diamond or a blue jewel of some kind in the middle. Maybe it's magical. You turn him around here, it kind of looks like, you know, the kind of looks like he's wearing suspenders a little bit. He's got little wristbands here. I wonder if those were, you know, the little rubber bands that they put on lobsters' claws to keep them from snapping at you. Something similar to that. And he has webbed feet, just like the original. Again, they're going for the cartoon look and not the toy look. These action figures are very, very posable. Their articulation is out of this world, which is really cool because then you can pose them like that. And you can remove their arms and legs and even to their torso. Now that we got that out of the way, let's see what he looks like with the Horn of Evil. There he is with the Horn of Evil. From this angle, it actually looks pretty cool. It looks like he is blowing into it. But if you look close enough, you can tell it's really not that close to his mouth, as you can see there. I didn't have very much difficulty, but maybe just a little. As I showed you earlier, it's very flexible. I had to kind of squeeze it together to get it in his claw, but it works. Now it's comparison time. Now let's stand the original Clawful next to him, and as you can see, he's got a very big claw. The boots he has on are blue. He's got a blue belt with a red or an orange colored, well, I guess red, like lobster red colored, dang it, loincloth. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. It's a loincloth. Now, he does have this armor on here. The armor's removable. I'm not going to remove it now, but as you can see, the armor has the spikes going up and down. This Clawful does not have the spikes going up and down his back. Now the action feature on his arm, the original. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Now he could grab the Horn of Evil, but with his articulation, there's no way he'd be able to get it to his mouth. I like his headpiece better. His hard shell, he looks more like a lobster. I think he looks more like he's more lobster-like than the cartoon version. But with that being said, I like the articulation on this one better. And he doesn't really need the action feature, although I do hope somewhere down the line that Masters Universe Origins comes out with a Clawful that has the action feature. But now I'm going to give my rating on this. Even though I really enjoy this one, I've got to say this is one of those rare times where I actually like the newer version better, and it's simply because of his articulation. There was several times where I wished that this Clawful had better articulation. I wish that you could switch out his action feature for just regular claw hands. I like the color better on this one. I like how the fangs point downwards instead of upwards, where he looks like he's got a overbite or an underbite or whatever you call that. I like the colors better on the original, but Of course, this is from the cartoon collection. He more looks like the cartoon Clawful. So I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. And I definitely highly recommend him for your Masters Universe Origins action figure collection. Well, there you have it. That does it for this review. And I've got to say, Clawful is a bittersweet sort of villain. And in terms of when it comes to appearances and filmation and the toy, I really didn't like his voice. I believe it was done by Lou Scheimer. And a lot of the voices, when you hear the villains, kind of like Webster, Clawful, and I believe Whiplash, they use the voice vibrator, whatever it's called, not vibrator, but the synthesizer, that's what I was thinking of, synthesizer. They use voice synthesizers. Lou Scheimer did a lot of the voices. Alan Offenheimer, he did a lot of the voices. He did Man-Arms, he did Beast-Man, he did Skeletor. Lou Scheimer did Orko's voice. I think he did Cringer's voice. Or no, wait, I could be wrong. No, Alan did Cringer's voice and Battle Cat's voice, I do believe. And, of course, Skeletor, Man-at-Arms. Lou Scheimer also did Many-Face's voice the first time, and then I think he was replaced by somebody else. But they only had so many voice actors, so after a while you kept hearing almost the same voices, like, what's her name? Lou Scheimer's daughter, she did a bunch of the female voices. She did Queen Marlena, not at the beginning. That was done by, I can't think of her name, but it was done by a different voice actor. And then Lou Scheimer's daughter did it the second time, and then from there on to the rest of the series, she did the voice of She-Ra, of course, Princess Adora. I think now Teela was done by the voice actor or actress who did Queen Marlena at first, and then they changed that for whatever reason. I don't know, because it was more deeper, I do believe. But anyway, that does it for this review. And until next time, oh, before I sign off, tomorrow will be Trapjaw, and that's going to be a very interesting one indeed, because I've got 3 different versions of him. And that's just a little peek, a sneak peek, if you will, of what's coming up next time on Hebrews Toy Reviews. But remember, until then, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. See you then.
He-Man meet Clawful with his awesome grip of evil.
Fisto, Battle Armor He-Man, Clawful, and Battle Armor Skeletor each sold separately.
You asked for it, Clawful. Meet Fisto with his super smash power. We'll see who smashes who. May the mightiest power prevail.
Fisto and Clawful figures new from the Masters of the Universe collection, each sold separately. Other action figures also sold separately. From Mattel.